Hi, this is John Regier, and this is the third video for the first week of CS 1030. In this video, I'm going to talk a little bit about how the course is going to work and the course structure, so that you know sort of what to expect and what to do here. And this is going to be more challenging than it usually is for college students, just because there's more stuff online. There's kind of a lot of moving parts. There's a lot of things. So we really hope to try to make this all clear for you. And if we haven't, then please ask us questions. So first of all, we're going to do most of our interaction through Canvas. Canvas is what we call an LMS, Learning Management System, which is basically just a big piece of software that helps support university courses and also high school courses and stuff like that. And I want you to go make sure you have read the syllabus there. The syllabus is sort of the contract between us for the content of the course. And we're also going to do an entire video covering, a short video covering the syllabus, but you should also, you could alternatively just read it. There's only one Canvas page for CS 1030, and it's the one that's linked to the first section for the course. There are also course sections in the university computer system for the different recitation and lab sections. Those don't have Canvas pages attached to them. There's really only one Canvas page for the course. So let's talk about what this course is made of. It's made up of lectures, readings, labs, recitations, assignments, and exams. So lectures are going to be all online on YouTube. They're asynchronous, which just means watch them on your own when you want. And lectures contain information that you're going to need to know to do the labs, to do the assignments, and to do well on the exams. And so this is the first time we've put this all online. And in some sense, it's harder for you, I think, because you have to sort of carve time out of your day instead of being forced to attend a lecture. But on the other hand, there's some nice things about online video. And one of the main ones is that you can watch them slower or faster. So if your listening speed doesn't match my talking speed, just speed me up or slow me down. And this is something I do all the time while watching lectures online. It's really, really, really useful. Another thing you can do is rewatch a video or a part of a video if you miss something. And finally, one of the reasons we've uploaded these videos to YouTube is because YouTube has some AI-based automatic closed captioning. And the closed captioning just means that the things I say are turned to text and listed at the bottom. And historically, this was done for hearing impaired people. But it turns out that a lot of people, including me, like to have those turned on all the time while watching things on YouTube. And so if you look at the CC, look for the CC button at the bottom of a YouTube video, sort of towards the right, and click it, you can turn these on. And now there's something sort of a little bit funny here. It's all automated and AI based. And so it's going to get some stuff wrong. It's pretty good, but it's going to make mistakes. And we simply don't have time and energy or resources to go and fix this all and make sure it's totally correct. So sometimes they're not going to be all correct. And sometimes the mistakes might be funny. And I'm afraid we're just going to have to live with it. There is an office at the university whose job it is to do closed captioning for courses. But as you might expect, they're really overloaded this fall. So they're not going to help us out. So anyways, turn those on if you want. Watch videos at whatever speed you want to sort of use your time most efficiently, but do please watch all of the videos each week. So sometimes we'll ask you to read supplemental information. So for example, there's a reading assignment attached to week one, to the module for week one for this course in Canvas. And these provide extra information to back up things covered in lecture. And they're required in the sense that we'll feel free to ask you about them on assignments or on exams. So there are some things, like for example, I mentioned a couple things in the lecture one for this week, like the software is eating the world essay, that aren't required. You don't have to do that. It's just something that I think might be interesting for you. But the required ones, for example, like the one that you can see in the Canvas module for this week, those are required reading. There'll be 2 labs per week. They're going to be Monday and Friday. And please attend the one you're enrolled in so that we don't get labs flooded with too many people. So, and I understand that that's going to be a bummer for those of you in 831, but that's sort of how it goes. So labs are online but synchronous. Synchronous means, unlike the lectures, they occur at a specific scheduled time. And the reason for that is because during those specific scheduled times, you can interact with your lab mates and with the TAs who are going to be running the labs. Often you'll be working in pairs on things, and this is, we think, really good because working in groups is really how most people work on computer code in the real world. And it really gives you an opportunity to learn from someone else, to see what they know that you don't, and to show them things that you know that they don't know. So labs are super important. These are hands-on activities that reinforce concepts from lectures. You need to do them. You should read all the instructions attached to each lab. There will always be a Canvas page saying what to do. And usually there'll be something to hand in. Often we'll make this a Canvas quiz to show that to show us that you've done the work and understood the material that we want you to understand. So the third component of this course is recitation sections. There are 4 of these. 3 of them are in person for now, at least, unless this could always change. And the other one is online and synchronous. So again, synchronous means that it happens at a specific scheduled time in order to facilitate interaction. The recitation sessions are all scheduled Wednesdays. They're once a week. And the purpose is to give you a chance to ask us questions and clear up things that you might be unclear on. And for us to get a chance to talk to you, to see how things are going, to cover in more detail material that we might have felt that we didn't cover well enough, and this kind of thing. So the recitations are an opportunity for a small part of the class to get together with an instructor in order to reinforce concepts, clear up things that are confusing, and that sort of thing. You'll be doing a bunch of assignments for us. These give you a chance to do more in-depth work, like writing a computer program. And again, the idea is to cement learning for the lectures and labs. And the way this works is you really don't learn computer programming until you do it. You really can't learn it from watching lectures. You have to make things happen. And assignments are where that's going to happen. So one thing that we don't want to catch you by surprise is that we're going to be sticklers about the due dates. So there's a particular policy for late hand-ins that you should read in the syllabus, but in general, just hand them in. We're not going to be very flexible about granting extensions and things. There is a policy for dropping an assignment, dropping a low scored assignment. But other than that, we're not going to be particularly flexible about this. It's just too many people in the course and we need to stay on schedule. So to get general help about issues in the course, about topics that we're covering, you can use a Canvas discussion, and those are visible to everybody. And that's a sort of an easy way to get a kind of a collaborative discussion going among the TAs, the instructors, and students. And you can also send a message to the course staff email list. That's teach-cs1030@list.utah.edu. And that'll reach myself, Scott, and all of the TAs. And what happens is, since it goes to all of us, you can hopefully get a response fairly quickly. And those mails again, aren't public. They don't go to anyone but the instructors, but they go to all of us. If you have a personal matter that you don't want to share with your classmates and also the TAs, then you can contact Scott and John directly on Canvas. And we'll ask that you contact both of us. Just add both of us to a direct Canvas email. So that we can, work things out. And again, be careful not to put personal stuff into a public Canvas discussion because everybody can read it. So unless you want to share it with everyone, don't put it in a discussion. Okay, so the last thing I want to do in this video is cover academic misconduct. And so this is an unpleasant topic and we don't like enforcing these rules, but we have to. And so let's talk about what's allowed and not allowed. What's allowed in this course is things like discussing topics with your classmates. And this is not only allowed, it's really encouraged, right? A lot of the learning that you do in your time as a student here is going to be from your classmates. You talk things out, you hash them out, you figure out what you don't understand or they don't understand. And this is where a lot of learning really happens, and we want that to happen. You can always show your work to a TA or instructor. That's never wrong. You can work in pairs or groups only when you're instructed to. So if you have an assignment that you're supposed to complete on your own and you work as part of a group, that's not okay. That's academic misconduct, it's cheating, and you should not do it. You can always help someone else use a class, tool, or piece of software. You can always explain concepts to other people. And you can always ask us questions about academic misconduct, which is what you should do if you have any particular questions. So let's talk about what's not allowed. You're not allowed to copy or retype someone else's work. So you're not allowed to look at someone else's program and retype it. And in fact, you should basically not type while looking at anyone else's stuff. That's not good. You can look at their stuff if you want to, for example, help them debug something, but you're not allowed to then directly use that in your own work. You're not allowed to explain to someone else or be explained to you exactly the steps to accomplish a task. You're not allowed to copy material from the internet. You're not allowed to leave material pertaining to your homework assignments in unprotected computer files where other people can find them. And you're not allowed to fix bugs in other people's work. So you're allowed to talk about things that are wrong with your classmates' assignments, but you're not allowed to actually sit down at their computer and fix bugs in it. So anyway, I hope that's clear. You can ask us more about this, and in general, we hope that these issues won't come up. So let's look at a specific example here. You've been stuck on your assignment for a day. The score on the game that you're programming never goes back to 0, and your study partner, that is to say, someone else in the course who you're working with, says, "I know what might be the problem. There needs to be code, in this specific part to set the score back to 0." So that kind of thing is fine. The person hasn't looked at your code. They've just heard you be frustrated, heard you describe the problem. Your friend hasn't fixed your code or sat down at your machine. They've just described a general conceptual fix. That's absolutely fine. So you're always allowed to do this kind of thing. But again, don't have them sit down and fix it. So overall, you should read the working together part of the syllabus. You're responsible for understanding and following the rules there.